Perfect, sorry. First of all, thank you all so much. My name is Katie Jo Berkshire Kirkpatrick with the Northern Kentucky Area Development District, and we are here today to talk about two different funding sources for Eons Park. As you all know, that's a big development you are doing up by the old movie site, and so we are doing two grants, and we'll start with the Land and Water Conservation. So that is a we can request $500,000 with that, and it is to do a park, a playground, where on the top half of where the concrete place was, for lack of a better terminology. So hopefully you all know where we're describing. And so it will be park equipment, play equipment, some parking, and then the road to go up to that second tier. So that is the one project, Land and Water Conservation. And fortunately, you all applied for a grant with the state of Kentucky, which will pay a huge portion of that funding. And so again, that will cut down on the costs that the city has to do. And so that's the first one. That grant was for $250,000, and so that will help with the matching on that. The second grant is recreational trail program, which is through the Highway Transportation Authority. Again, there are a lot of abbreviations, and I will do my best not to use those. But the trail one is looking at multimodal there on either Erlanger Road or Sycamore Tree Lane. They are both, those names are used interchangeable. I did notice that you are shutting that road down back in end of May, and so this is to take that and add additional footage to one of the sides to make it really accessible, and expand this accessibility for walking and bicycling and all that stuff. Do you all have any questions? And again, also you got a grant for the recreational trail grant also. Mark did a wonderful job of securing that funding for you all. And so these are just some small phrases of your much larger project in Eons Adventure Park. Any questions? Perfect. Thank you. The grant is due the end of this week, beginning of next week, and then we will see how long it takes the state to approve that, and then historically, you get a big check from the state, and then the work really starts to where we work with the National Park Service or the Highway Transportation Authority to get everything that they need on the federal level, and then you get the little check that you can deposit. So it can be 2 years less. Honestly, I can't tell you right now because it's flexing because there's some stuff going, some staffing on the state level, and then just what's going to happen on the federal level. I can't predict.
Okay, so we're all set. Here's that sign-in sheet, guys. Did you sign in? Okay. Okay, great. Thank you so much. Is that it? Okay. We'll come back at 6:45 for our special meeting. So while we're waiting, it is Renee Wilson's birthday. Should we sing happy birthday? Okay, and then there's also cupcakes in the back for her birthday, and it's a big one. Are we allowed to say? It's a big one. She's 70 today. All right. And many more to come. Yes. All right, so let's sing, okay? Happy birthday to you. Happy Yay. Make sure you get a cupcake. Yes.
That's the one thing that went viral. 2.6 million people saw it.
All right, guys, it is 6:45. I now call the June 10th, 2025 special meeting of the City Council to order. Mrs. Hoffman, if you can please take roll, please.
Present.
Here.
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 Present.
Here.
Here.
All right, thank you. All right, Jack.
All right, we have quite a bit of legislation tonight. First, we have an ordinance to the City of Erlanger in Kenton County, Kentucky, adopting a budget for the City of Erlanger for the fiscal year beginning on July 1, 2025, and providing that no money shall be expended by or on behalf of the City of Erlanger except in accordance with that adopted budget. You can see attached to the ordinance is the spreadsheet, which is a summary budget, which shows the revenue and expenditures of the general fund, the employee health plan fund, the capital asset fund, the police forfeiture fund, the park fund, the TIF fund, and the combined totals. And you will see that this budget does create an excess of revenues.
All right, it's a second reading, so do I entertain a motion that we adopt as presented? Mr. Farmer, Ms. Reckers, any discussion? All right, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Cahill?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Skidmore? Yes, ma'am. Mr. Farmer?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Jasper Lucas?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Wilson?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Nicely?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Reckers?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Fields?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, motion carried.
Next, we have an ordinance to the City of Erlanger in Kenton County, Kentucky, establishing a personnel pay and classification plan for all Erlanger employees and non-elected city officials. This, again, is somewhat of a housekeeping ordinance that we pass each year. You can see the underlined positions are the ones that we are moving bans on. The numbers that are struck through are the old numbers, and then the numbers below that are the new numbers for the minimum and maximum at each pay band.
All right. Do I entertain a motion that we adopt this ordinance as read? Ms. Nicely, Ms. Wilson, any discussion? All in favor, roll call vote. Oof.
Ms. Fields?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Reckers?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Nicely?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Jasper Lucas?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Farmer?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Skidmore? Yes, ma'am. Mr. Cahill?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, motion carried.
All right, next we have an ordinance amending Section 3307 of the Erlanger Code of Ordinances, adding the position of Director of Public Safety. The city has identified several non-elected positions pursuant to KRS 83A080, and we are adding to that the Director of Public Safety as item G, with a short description of what that Director of Public Safety position is, which will provide for the overall management and strategic direction of both the police and fire and EMS departments. We also are taking this opportunity to amend the Director of Finance position, which has really, the last few years, been the Director of Finance / HR position for the city.
All right, do I entertain a motion we adopt this ordinance as read? Ms. Jasper Lucas, Ms. Reckers, any discussion? All right, roll call vote, please.
Ms. Skidmore? Yes, ma'am. Mr. Farmer?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Jasper Lucas?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Wilson?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Nicely?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Reckers?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Fields?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Cahill?
Yes, ma'am.
Motion carried.
All right, next we have an ordinance amending the zoning map of the City of Erlanger, County of Kenton, area of approximately 1.94 acres on the southwest side of Cave Run Drive between Dixie Highway to the southeast and Barclay Drive to the northwest, approximately 415 feet northwest of Dixie Highway in Erlanger from RM, which is residential mixed zone, to neighborhood commercial NC. There was a public hearing that was held on May 1st, 2025. PDS staff reviewed the application and recommended the proposed map amendment, and at the Kenton County Planning Commission, they voted to recommend the zone change. The zone change is being recommended generally based on the proposed map amendment is in agreement with the adopted comprehensive plan. The submitted concept development plan meets the minimum requirements of the Erlanger zoning ordinance. And there are a couple conditions. If you remember when Andy was here last week, that we are recommending approval of this ordinance based on complying with the 22-foot wide requirement for drive aisles to make sure it's consistent with two-way traffic, and that a sidewalk would be required along Cave Run Drive adjacent to the subject lot.
All right, do I entertain a motion that we adopt this ordinance as read? Ms. Reckers, Mr. Farmer, any discussion? All right, roll call vote, please.
Ms. Reckers,
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Fields,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Cahill,
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Skidmore, Mr. Farmer,
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Jasper Lucas,
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Wilson,
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Nicely.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, motion carried.
All right, next we have an ordinance to the City of Erlanger in Kenton County, Kentucky, approving and adopting a supplement to the Code of Ordinances of the city. This is a supplementing through Ordinance 2575, and as was discussed last week, this is our annual supplement to the Code of Ordinances so that all ordinances passed in the past year get rolled into the Code of Ordinances, which is then online through American Legal.
All right, do I entertain a motion that we adopt this ordinance as read? Ms. Fields, Mr. Farmer, any discussion? All right, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Farmer,
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Jasper Lucas,
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Wilson,
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Nicely,
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Reckers,
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Fields,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Cahill,
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Skidmore.
All right, motion carried.
Next, we have two resolutions related to the public hearing we had. First is a resolution of the City of Erlanger, Kenton County, Kentucky, where we are applying for a application to the Department of Local Government for assistance under the Land and Water Conservation Fund Act, that the Land Water Conservation Fund is limited to funding a maximum of 50% of the proposed project costs, estimated at $1 million, and that the City of Erlanger will hold in reserve 50% of the proposed project costs for the purpose of matching the Land and Water Conservation Fund assistance, and that this would allow the City of Erlanger would be able to comply with all federal and state laws, especially Title 6 of the Civil Rights and Sections 504 of the 1973 Rehabilitation Act. Do you want to add anything to this, Mark? All right.
All right, do I entertain a motion that we adopt this resolution as read? Ms. Nicely, Ms. Wilson, any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
The final resolution is similar. It's a resolution making application to the Department for Local Government for assistance under the Recreational Trails Program. They're limiting the funding to a maximum of 80% of the proposed project costs, estimated at $250,000, and that the city would hold in reserve 20% of the proposed project costs for a purpose of matching the Recreational Trails Program assistance. And also with this grant, the City of Erlanger would comply with all applicable federal and state laws, rules, and regulations.
All right, do I entertain a motion that we adopt this resolution as read? Ms. Reckers, Ms. Jasper Lucas, any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carried. All right, do I entertain a motion that we adjourn the special meeting? Ms. Reckers, Ms. Jasper Lucas, any discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed? All right, motion carried. We will go ahead and adjourn our meeting. And then do we have to open up the caucus?
Well, we noticed it as a special caucus meeting, so my thought would be is I think you and I probably need to at least stick around at 7 o'clock and open it to close it. But I don't think we need everyone else to stick around unless they just want to.
All right, guys. Do we need
I
to?
mean, we could, if you all want to stick around for 5 minutes. It's probably cleanest. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it's a
We'll be-
caucus meeting.
We'll be back in 6 minutes. There's cupcakes in the back. All right, guys, it's 7 o'clock, so we'll go ahead and open up the City Council caucus meeting. And do I entertain a motion that we adjourn? Mr. Cahill, Ms. Reckers, any discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion